of Springfield. Police say that a man has been killed in an exchange of gunfire with officers responding to a domestic disturbance call. 22 News reporter Julie McDonald is live in Springfield with more. Julie?
We've been here on Albemarle Street in Springfield all morning. I want to give you a look of what's happening here. You can see the police are investigating this scene right here, and they're taking a look at this black car, and there's glass shattered all over the ground. That's where everything started this morning. Police received calls of shots fired around 5:50 this morning when a man fired a shotgun at his estranged girlfriend. She was not hurt. But neighbors we spoke to today said that it all started when the man would not allow the girl into his home. So then she came out here and started taking swings at his car. That's when he came outside and then started firing shots at the woman. Again, she was not hurt. The man continued firing into the air and then started shooting at officers who were arriving at the scene. Officers did return gunfire and struck the man. Police performed CPR, but the man died at the hospital. Police did not immediately release the man's name, but say that he is 44 years old. Again, the estranged girlfriend was not hurt, and no neighbors here in the Albemarle Street neighborhood were injured either. Coming up on 22 News at noon, we'll have reaction from neighbors who woke up to this nightmare this morning. Live in Springfield, Julie McDonald, 22 News.
Thank you, Julie, and we'll keep everyone up to date. WWLP.com, and as always, we'll break in with any updates. But now, switching gears, yesterday we heard a very startling revelation from one of America's top leading ladies.
Angelina Jolie announced that she has undergone a double mastectomy, not because she has breast cancer, but in order to prevent it.
NBC's Dr. Nancy Snyderman explains.
It is a stunning announcement by one of Hollywood's most glamorous leading ladies. Oscar-winning actress Angelina Jolie disclosed in today's New York Times that she had a double mastectomy and reconstructive surgery earlier this year, a decision prompted by family history and genetic testing. Jolie wrote, "I carry a faulty gene, BRCA1, which sharply increases my risk of developing breast cancer and ovarian cancer. I decided to be proactive and to minimize the risk as much as I could." The decision, she says, was influenced by the death of her own mother, Marceline Bertrand, who fought ovarian cancer for 10 years and died at the age of 56. 37-year-old Jolie and her partner, the actor Brad Pitt, have 6 children. She says she can now assure the family it is unlikely they will lose her to the disease.
Good job, worker.
Pregnant mother of 2, Gabrielle Brett of Cleveland, made a similar choice. She also had the BRCA1 gene mutation and underwent a double mastectomy before starting a family.
Being pregnant and not have to worry about getting diagnosed with breast cancer were so great. That I look back and I wouldn't change a thing.
While the tests for BRCA1 and 2 mutations are fairly simple, a cheek swab or a blood test, they can be expensive, more than $3,000. Although in some cases, a strong family history of breast or ovarian cancer will prompt insurance companies to cover the cost. But doctors caution genetic testing isn't for everyone.
Women who do not have a family history, I think, should not be overly anxious about this. However, women who have a family history should check with their physician.
In Jolie's case, making an intelligent decision based on her individual information is what the future of personalized medicine is all about.
She would have had a risk of almost 90% of developing breast cancer in her lifetime. So this is true medical prevention. This is genomics preventing a very serious disease.
Which brings us to our Mass Appeal question of the day. We want to know, if you knew you had a chance of developing breast cancer, would you opt for a double mastectomy?
So as always, you can share your comments with us on our Facebook page. You can tweet us at MassAppealWWLP or send us an email, massappeal@WWLP.com.
It's time for Taste Appeal, and joining us now is writer and cook Nikki Gardner from artsandlemons.com, and she's going to show us how to make a vegetable polenta pizza.
Thanks for having me today.
Of course.
This sounds intriguing. I'm excited for the final product and to take a taste of it, because I don't understand this. So we start with polenta, and what is polenta?
So polenta is basically a coarse cornmeal that's been cooked into a porridge-like consistency. And it looks like this.
So this is going to be our crust.
This is going to be our crust.
What's the taste profile of polenta? What's it like?
Well, it's just like a corn mush, but It has some olive oil and some salt, so it's like a picked-me-up corn mush. It's very good. And for this pizza, the crusts have been baked. And it's a thin crust, so they're not thick or porridgey. They bake out nice and flat like a regular flour pizza crust.
So is it going to be like a nice crispy crust?
It has a little bit of crisp and then a little bit of softness. So it has a little bit of both worlds to it.
And
like
it's a
the
great
flour.
alternative to the white flour and all
Yes.
the butter that a lot of recipes have.
Exactly. So we have these crusts already done, and they were cooked in 5-inch tartlet pans. So this recipe will make 2 10-inch crusts. And all the ingredients used today you can get at Whole Foods Market in Hadley. And so what we'll do is we can take some of the polenta, if you want to start.
Sure.
Oh, and just putting it in this little dish?
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to film the tartlet with olive oil.
A little bit of olive oil in there.
Yeah.
And that's so much better than, you know, like the Crisco or,
Right.
or some of those.
So the crust just pops right on out if we use
Yes,
the
so
olive
it'll
oil.
be like this. That's how they come out.
Here we go. So now, are we going to mold it into that crust?
Yes, so we're going to mold it in.
All right,
Do you want me to
Lori.
start molding
yeah,
it?
get your
Sure.
hands dirty.
Get into it.
Okay.
And it's basically just flattening it so that it covers the whole surface area, and then you kind of spread it so that you have like a little crust and you have a surface area for the ingredients
well, it
to
smells
go in.
good.
So what we're going to put in is we've sauteed olive oil, salt, leeks, fennel, and asparagus. So very spring
Very
focused
healthy.
Very
vegetables.
seasonal.
And very healthy too.
And now for the innards of the pizza, though, you could put whatever you want in there. Whatever
Exactly.
is maybe fresh or you or your family like.
Right.
And
But
now, is this one is vegetarian, right?
This one is vegetarian. The cheese is optional. It's very good without it, or you can put the goat cheese on as well. So we're going to top it with an arugula pesto.
That
so
sounds
another
delicious.
spring vibrant green. So it has that little bit of a peppery kick. It has some olive oil, lemon juice, garlic.
Now, Nikki, you said this is vegetarian. Is the only thing that's keeping it from being vegan the cheese?
Yes.
So otherwise it's vegan, or you can add the cheese and then it's just vegetarian, or you
Yes.
can add some meat and then it's just another pizza.
Right. You could, if you wanted to add like prosciutto or some sort of ham, that would be really good. Chicken would probably be good with it too. You go that way.
Yeah, whatever.
So-
Just
Whatever
add
you
whatever
wanna
you
do.
want.
Exactly. So we're going to put a little bit of olive oil on top of the polenta like this.
And then from there we just put that in the oven before we put things on it?
Yes. So this would go in the oven.
Oh, so you're going to do you put the sauce on before or just straight like this?
We're going to cook those first.
Oh, it's
Thanks
right
for
here.
reminding me.
I could have
There
seen
we are.
this.
So for 45 minutes.
I'll go throw these in.
Right.
How about you kids start painting
At
the crust
what-
together?
how hot is it going to be?
375.
45 minutes at 375?
Yes. And so we actually have a brush this time and we can
Oh, okay.
coat the olive oil.
So put more olive oil on the pizza?
Yes. We're just coating it.
Oh, okay.
And then if you want to put the pesto on,
Oh, that pesto looks so good. Now, what do you put in your pesto?
well, this one has the arugula. For the nut, it has sunflower seeds, but you could also use almonds, or you could use walnuts, or you could use pine nuts, or a combination.
Now, pine nuts are the traditional nut, but I don't know if they are so expensive lately.
They
so
really
Yes.
are.
it's good that we're finding nut alternatives because you can really put any nut that you want
Yes,
in a pesto.
you can. I mean, it's basically just whatever kind of herb or green you want in the nut, the olive oil.
You can
know,
put some
little
cheese in
salt,
there if you're like
and
me.
you can
I
put
put
some cheese in
so
there.
much
I put
cheese
cheese
my
in
pesto.
everything.
You can.
Why not? It's fun.
You can put the cheese in.
Okay, is that enough pesto?
We want a little bit more than that.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, don't
Yeah.
I'm
don't
holding
get cheap
back.
on me, Laura.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Go to
There
town.
you go. That's a good
Okay.
coating. And so after that, we're going to top it with the vegetables that have already been sauteed.
And now from there, do we put it back in the oven?
Yes, but we just, because the crust is cooked, it's going to put it, be like a 5-minute time on broil.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
so
you just basically want,
top shelf and you broil it for just a few minutes?
I usually do middle shelf just so it doesn't get scorched on top. And then I would say like anywhere from like 5 to 7 minutes is usually.
Great.
and
good
then
mark.
it looks something
Our
like this.
finished product.
Exactly.
Which I cannot wait to dig into.
And the cheese is just barely toasted. It has a nice golden brown to it.
Yes.
Well, Nikki, thank you so much. This looks great. Cannot wait to dig in. Don't go anywhere because later in the show, we are going to deal with rhubarb crisp. We're going to make one on our own. Hey, today on Mass Appeal, we're going to show you how your home can look better for just a few dollars when we show you how to repurpose your old tables and chairs into something amazing.
And we'll take you to a pizza place in Amherst where they have over 50 slices of pizza and the famous steak taco pizza.
And hypnosis can help you quit smoking, lose weight, and make up for lost sleep. And we've got an expert in studio to show you just how easy it can be. Stay tuned.
If you have a piece of furniture that has seen better days, don't throw it out just yet. Try repurposing it with some paint. To show us how is owner and artist of the Etsy shop Frisky Furnishings, Laura Bundesen. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, these look fantastic. These are kind of in their final stage, but if you were just starting from step one, how do we get to here?
Step one, you want to make sure you have a sturdy piece of furniture, and you want to use a little sandpaper to take off whatever finish might be on there. Get the shine off essentially and get it down to a smooth surface. You always want to wear a mask when you're sandpapering so you don't breathe in that stuff. And then the second step would be to put a primer on. You want to make sure you've got all the sandpaper grit washed off, and then you're going to put a primer on. The top of this is primed and ready to paint.
So this is in the priming stage.
And the top of this is primed, and then I've used a little bit of this blue masking tape to decorate the edge, so that
create a stripe effect.
Yes, underneath the blue tape is white paint, and then we're going to put a purple paint over this. You're going to paint the rest of this blue.
Okay.
And then we can talk about the finishing of it.
So I just get started?
Yes.
Okay, and what color do I have here? Turquoise. This is beautiful.
You want to make sure you wipe off the excess paint from your brush.
Okay,
and then I just get started it on.
And about how many coats are you going to need of the colored paint?
Normally about 2 coats.
And then after you put the coat on, is there another step after that?
Yes, we're going to take off our decorative tape, and then we're going to finish it with some kind of finish that will protect the paint. I have a few examples over here. There's a polyacrylic finish that is very, very hardy. And then you can do it with a brush on or spray on. And then there's a paste wax finish, which has a kind of nice effect, but is not quite as sturdy.
What kind of effect does a paste wax finish have?
It's kind of glossy and very smooth. It looks like waxed furniture. So I sometimes use that on pieces that would not need a lot of wear and tear. I wouldn't use it on a tabletop.
Are there any, because you have some beautiful finished pieces here with us in the studio, do any of those have that finishing?
Yes, this one right here has the paste wax finish on it. You can see it's kind of a subtle glowing finish.
Oh, it's beautiful. And since it's kind of a bedside table, it probably will have a lamp or a book. You're not putting food on it and different things like that. So that would be a good finish for that.
Right, exactly.
And they're beautiful. And you can also, you've added birds to this one, or you could go really decorative. I couldn't do it. You painted a sunflower on a rocking chair in the front.
Yeah, and I just want to say for this kind of paint, I'm using a latex house paint, and I buy these little jars that cost $2.50 to $3 at any of the hardware stores. And it is so, this goes a long way. I've done several pieces in this purple, and I've still got half the jar left, so it's very economical.
It's so much cheaper to just add new life to your furniture than throwing away and buying all new things.
Oh, absolutely.
And
no question about it.
You become proud. There's a piece in your house that you've done all by yourself. You've worked on it, and you can use it almost as an art piece.
Yes.
Is that close to removing some tape so we can see how the stripes are going to come out?
Yes. Now this would ideally need another second coat on it, but let's take a sneak peek and see what that looks like.
Great.
I'll do it up here. Whoop.
Oh, and that adds a nice little finish, and it was so easy.
Yes, so easy.
Oh, that's so cute, and I love the colors. And so, do you take the tape off before or after you would gloss it?
You mean put the final finish on?
Yes.
Yes, I would take the tape off after the paint, before the final finish.
Okay.
So that the final finish gets on the whole piece.
And even your kids can do this because, I mean, I'm not very artistic and I'm just painting. So I'm sure your kids could just come in and help you paint, and so you could spend time with your family and get a new piece of furniture.
Yes. The other thing I want to mention is you do want to sand between each layer of paint and between the primer and the paint to make sure that you have a smooth surface that the paint will really adhere to.
Oh, so if I did this first layer before I started the second one, I'd go through and I'd sand it?
Just lightly with a very fine grit sandpaper.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for being us and giving us tips on how to make our old furniture new again.
Great.
We
A lot of
appreciate
fun
you
to
being
be here. Thank you.